Hello there, very good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News, where we take you through the news you probably missed through the night and also look ahead to the day's news ahead. I'm Tracy Shilchi and here are the headlines. Controversy hits the Aam Aadmi Party again. Sacked party minister Kapil Mishra hits back, says Kejriwal ignored his report into the water tanker scam, vows to expose names during a meet with the anti-corruption branch today. The wounds of Sukma still fresh. Home Minister Rajnath Singh to meet chief ministers of 10 states affected by Naxal menace to focus on ways to minimize casualties of security forces. "39-year-old Emmanuel Macron is France's new president, secures over 65% of the votes to beat far-right rival Marine Le Pen. EU leaders hailed the verdict. And BCCI clears India's participation in the Champions Trophy. Will meet today to decide the squad for the tournament that starts on the 1st of June. Well, let's start this morning with yet another controversy to hit the Aam Aadmi Party. A day after being dropped as minister, party MLA Kapil Mishra leveled stunning allegations of corruption against Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and Health Minister Satyendra Jain. Hours after the Aam Aadmi Party dismissed the allegations, Kapil Mishra met Delhi Lieutenant Governor Anil Baijal and also said that he would share all the evidence with the anti-corruption branch today. Mishra alleged that he was an eyewitness to Jain handing over 2 crore rupees to the Chief Minister and party national convener Arvind Kejriwal. Questioning the inaction over a report that he submitted to Kejriwal in August 2015 on the alleged 400 crore rupee water tanker scam during the tenure of the Sheila Dikshit government, Mishra said that he plans to give the ACB information about the role of 2 people working in the office in the scam. Meanwhile, the BJP and the Congress have demanded Kejriwal's resignation, saying that he has no moral and legal right to continue as Chief Minister.
अपने हाथों से उनको कैश लेते हुए मैंने देखा है और कैबिनेट में 2 साल होते हुए ऑन रिकॉर्ड दिल्ली के उपराज्यपाल महोदय को बयान देकर आया हूं। बयान या आरोप नहीं है, ऑन रिकॉर्ड उपराज्यपाल महोदय को देकर आया हूं और इसके बाद एसीबी, सीबीआई सबको बताऊंगा जाकर।
वो तो बात जवाब देने लायक भी नहीं है, कोई इस पर यकीन नहीं कर सकता। बहुत ही उलझुल आरोप उन्होंने लगाए हैं, उनका कोई सिर पैर नहीं है। इसके बारे में इतना ही कहा जा सकता है, उसका कोई जवाब नहीं है।
आपको तत्क्षण दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री पद से इस्तीफा देना चाहिए, क्योंकि ये आरोप कोई भारतीय जनता पार्टी का कार्यकर्ता या सिपाही नहीं लगाया।
Well, our correspondent Anu Diwan is in fact joining us now on the phone line for more details on what we can expect in this new controversy. Anu, good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Breakfast News. Give us an idea of these 2 people who Kapil Mishra is claiming to name later when he meets the ACB.
Definitely, Smriti, this feud between the Aam Aadmi Party is taking in interesting turns, where Kapil Mishra today will be going to ACB to would be giving the names of 2 party leaders. Yesterday he told that 2 party leaders are Ashish Talwar and Vibha Patel. These 2 are the very close associates of Arvind Kejriwal, as these 2 are associated with him since the beginning of the Anna movement. Ashish Talwar is advisor in the Delhi government and Vibha Patel is a very close associate with Arvind Kejriwal. So yesterday only when Kapil Mishra lead his own Arvind Kejriwal's own cabinet minister elite Arvind Kejriwal of accepting 2 crore bribe was the biggest charge in this 2.5 years of Kejriwal government. Earlier we have seen that BJP Congress have alleged them of corruption charges, but this time his own very colleague is alleging. So the biggest point here comes that why Arvind Kejriwal is not coming in front and dismissing all these allegations. Why Manish Sisodia yesterday refused to speak out on these charges. So here the question here only is arising that why is Arvind Kejriwal hasn't done anything and whole of the party is standing behind him. Where Kumar Vishwas is also saying that he cannot accept that he could have taken any bribe. Then why Arvind Kejriwal himself is not coming out and giving any evidence whether he has taken money from Satyendra Jain. What was the tanker scam which Kapil Mishra was talking about, that because of
Absolutely.
few people the investigation could not have been carried out. Why Arvind Kejriwal is all silent on all these points?
These are very crucial points you're bringing out here, Anu, because as you've been pointing out, the opposition so far, the Congress and the BJP, have been levelling charges of bribery, have been levelling charges of corruption, of scams. But, you know, as far as direct association to a bribery charge is concerned, this is perhaps huge in the sense that you have a former minister who himself is pointing out that Arvind Kejriwal took 2 crore rupees, and these are the allegations by Kapil Mishra. And today, of course, we'll find out more details of what exactly he is planning to tell the ACB. But you're pointing out, of course, that at the moment, Kejriwal himself has not come out, spoken about this particular charge of bribery, and that is making the case even further worse, in fact, further for him, especially coming in the, you know, in the back of that MCD poll debacle. And this is the another big controversy that has hit the Aam Aadmi Party.
Definitely, see, from the last 1 or 2 weeks, we are saying that Aam Aadmi Party is totally involved in all these controversies, where earlier Kumar Vishwas was a target. Now this Kapil Mishra is a target. Kumar Vishwas, then Amantullah said that Kumar Vishwas is trying to break the party. Then also Arvind Kejriwal then came out and said and dismissed all the charges. And this time also we are expecting that this is one of the biggest charges that his own cabinet minister has leaked on him. That why all the party leaders are when all the party leaders are behind him, then why Arvind Kejriwal is not coming and dismissing all these charges?
Absolutely. 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 We leave it there for the moment. Anu Diwan, thank you so much for joining us. This is going to be one of the big stories we'll be tracking through the day and get you more details. Anu, thank you. Meanwhile, Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh will today chair a review meeting with chief ministers of 10 left-wing extremism affected states to brainstorm over ways to tackle the menace. The Home Minister has asked security officials to look for out-of-the-box solutions to the problem of successive attacks by Naxalites on security personnel. The conclave comes in the shadow of the April 4th attack by Maoists in Chhattisgarh's Sukma region, in which 25 CRPF men were killed. District magistrates and superintendents of police of 35 worst-hit districts will also be taking part in the conclave, which will take a holistic view of the situation, covering security and development issues. Ways to revamp intelligence gathering mechanism, as well as minimizing casualties among security forces, are likely to be discussed in the meet. The meet will also focus on devising new strategies to ensure rapid development in left-wing extremism-affected areas. At least 106 districts of Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Odisha, Bihar, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh are affected by Naxal violence. The Supreme Court will pronounce its verdict today on the plea by the CBI against RJD Lalu Prasad Yadav in the fodder scam case. The probe agency had filed a petition in the Apex Court against the dropping of a conspiracy charge against Lalu Yadav by the Jharkhand High Court in 2014 in one of the fodder scam cases. Now, the court had quashed the cases on the grounds that a person convicted in one case could not be tried in similar cases based on the same witnesses and evidences. However, the CBI had contended that though the cases have arisen from the fodder scam, they are different in nature, as different amounts were involved from different treasuries. The scam involves fraudulent withdrawal of 950 crore rupees of public money from the treasuries of the Chaibasa in undivided Bihar for fictitious medicines and fodder for cattle for a period of 20 years. The matter came to light in 1996. In October 2013, Yadav was convicted in one of the cases on charges of embezzling 37 crore rupees, but he received bail in December 2013 from the Supreme Court. Over 50 cases were registered for embezzlement of funds on the pretext of buying fodder for cattle, among others. The CBI, during its probe in the last 3 years, has unearthed 339 shell companies that are based in India and were allegedly diverting funds to the tune of 2,900 crore rupees. The shell companies were involved in bank loan fraud, fraudulent transactions, providing false invoices, routing funds, rotation funds, and fraudulent infusion of equity. The activities have been exposed during the CBI probe into various loan fraud cases involving 28 public sector banks and a private bank. Besides this, CBI is also probing about 200 bank fraud cases involving funds of at least 30,000 crore rupees. Revenue Secretary Hasmukh Adhia has said that out of the 15 lakh companies registered in the country, 9 lakh were not filing any returns, and some among them may be acting as shell companies. The investigative agency has filed a charge sheet against borrowers, bank officials and against shell companies, and the offences have been registered under the Company Act, apart from Money Laundering Act and Benami Transactions Act. Now to Kashmir, where after the social media ban, the Jammu and Kashmir government has sought action against at least 34 TV channels, including those from Pakistan, Saudi Arabia and even Iraq. The Jammu and Kashmir government has asked all the deputy commissioners of the state to take action against the transmission of these channels, saying that they have the potential to incite violence and create a law and order situation. The DCs were asked what action has been taken in regards to reports that certain cable operators were transmitting non-permitted channels. They've also been directed to submit a compliance report on the matter by Monday. The directive comes after the centre asked the state government to take immediate steps to stop the unauthorized broadcast of Pakistani and Saudi Arabian channels in the state. The action also comes 2 days after Union Minister of Information and Broadcasting Venkaiah Naidu spoke with Jammu and Kashmir Chief Secretary of the issue and sought action taken report from him on the matter. Now, following the demise of Haji Abdul Salam, the then sitting Rajya Sabha MP from Manipur, 28th of February this year, the Election Commission has notified that the by-election to fill up the vacant posts will be held on the 25th of May. The poll notification will be given today, while the last date for filing nominations is May 15th. Along with Manipur, Odisha too will hold a by-election on the same date, following the resignation of the then Rajya Sabha MP Bishnu Charan Das on the 21st of March. Now, while the term of office for the Manipur Rajya Sabha MP will be up to April 9th, 2020, the term for the Odisha Rajya Sabha MP will be till 1st of July 2022. The last date for withdrawal of nomination papers is the 18th of May, while the counting of votes will happen on the 25th of May itself after voting ends at 5 p.m. With that, let's take a look at what else is making news across the country and nationwide. The Samajwadi Party on Sunday expelled its party leaders Mohammad Shahid, Deepak Mishra, Kallu Yadav, Rajesh Yadav and Rakesh Yadav. The decision came close on the heels of Shivpal Yadav's announcement to form a new party named Samajwadi Secular Morcha, for which Mulayam Singh Yadav has been declared as the party's national secretary. A special court will decide today whether to take cognizance of a CBI charge sheet against Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister Veerbhadra Singh. The charge sheet, running over 500 pages, claims that Singh had amassed assets worth 10 crore rupees, which were disproportionate by 192% to his total income during the tenure as Union Minister. The Supreme Court has sought a response of the Centre and the Chief Election Commissioner on a plea filed by a Gujarat Patidar leader seeking the use of either ballot paper or EVMs with paper trail for the upcoming assembly elections in the state. The Apex Court has posted the matter for hearing to the first week of July. Parts of Bengaluru's Belandur Lake caught fire again on late Sunday evening, engulfing the surrounding areas in smoke. A thick plume of smoke could be seen rising in the air from one side of the lake. The National Green Tribunal had directed Karnataka government to shut down industrial units as toxic effluents from these plants were being discharged into the lake. With a quick break here, up next, we're getting you the top international stories. Stay with us.
Unakoti, the famous Shaiva pilgrimage spot in Tripura, dates back to the 8th and 9th century. The name means one less than a crore. It owes its origin to an interesting legend that says Lord Shiva, who was on his way to Kashi, stopped here for a night halt along with gods and goddesses. Together, the number totaled 1 crore. At sunrise the next day, Lord Shiva was incensed to find all the gods and goddesses still asleep. Cursing them to become stone images, he left alone for Kashi. Unakoti, apart from its rock-cut carvings, has an imposing Shiva head called the Unakotishwara Kal Bhairav. Other eye-catching works include 3 enormous images of Nandi bull that are half buried in the ground and a gigantic Ganesh. To this day, the logistics of these huge carvings remain a mystery.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate. Inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries.
Welcome back. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj has spoken to Indian Ambassador to the US, Navtej Sarna, amid rise in hate crime in United States. Sushma Swaraj assured that the Indian government is committed to help and protect all Indian citizens living abroad. Her response came hours after Punjab Chief Minister Amrinder Singh brought the incident of the killing of a Sikh man to Swaraj's notice. As per reports, a 32-year-old Sikh man, Jagjit Singh, was stabbed to death outside a grocery store in California on Friday. And in another incident, a 32-year-old Indian-American doctor was shot dead under mysterious circumstances in a car in Michigan. Rakesh Kumar, who worked in the urology department of the Henry Ford Hospital, was found dead on the passenger seat of a car. Police are investigating the case to ascertain the cause of his death. Family members of Kumar say that they do not suspect anyone and have ruled out the possibility of it being an incident of hate crime. And now to the top international story, where Emmanuel Macron was elected as France's youngest head of state since Napoleon after beating his far-right rival Marine Le Pen in an emphatic result that will have far-reaching consequences for Brexit and Europe. 39-year-old Macron won almost two-thirds of the vote, showing a clear path to the Élysée Palace for the pro-EU centrist, who was a political unknown until 3 years ago and has never held elected office. Here are more details. French President-elect Emmanuel Macron addressing a huge victory rally in front of Paris's Louvre Museum and very symbolically taking to the stage to the European Union anthem Ode to Joy. Speaking to thousands of supporters, he pledged to represent French values in Europe and the world.
Je vous servirai avec humilité, avec force. Je vous servirai au nom de notre devise, liberté, égalité, fraternité. Dans la fidélité de la confiance que vous m'avez donnée, je vous servirai avec amour. Vive la République! Vive la France!
39-year-old Macron, a former economy minister who ran as neither left nor right independent, took over 65% of the votes to his rival Le Pen's 35%. His victory was hailed by his supporters as holding back a tide of populism after the Brexit vote and Donald Trump's victory in the US election. His election also represents a long-awaited generational change in French politics, where the same faces have dominated for years.
Ils attendent que partout nous défendions les libertés, que nous protégions les opprimés. Ils attendent que nous portions une nouvelle espérance un nouvel humanisme, celui d'un monde plus sûr, d'un monde de liberté défendue, d'un monde de croissance, de plus de justice, de plus d'écologie.
As Macron addressed his victory rally, his rival, the anti-EU Marine Le Pen, took the stage in the east of Paris to give a quick speech to her supporters, conceding defeat. Despite the wide margin of the final result, Le Pen's score nonetheless marked a historic high for the French far right. The anti-immigration, anti-EU National Front supporters asserted that the party had a central place as an opposition force in France.
J'appelle tous les patriotes à nous rejoindre afin de participer au combat politique décisif qui commence dès ce soir. Plus que jamais dans les mois qui viennent, la France aura besoin de vous. Vive la République, vive la France!
Tant bien que la défaite elle est douloureuse, il faut savoir l'accepter. Aujourd'hui, ça n'a pas marché. On est digne de la déception et de la défaite. Bon, on attend de voir ce que Macron va donner, le système.
What's crucial to note is that voter turnout was the lowest in more than 40 years. Almost one-third of voters chose neither Macron nor Le Pen, with 12 million abstaining and 4.2 million spoiling ballot papers. Macron, who has never held elected office and was unknown until 3 years ago, is France's youngest president. Next Sunday, he will take over a country under a state of emergency, still facing a major terrorism threat and struggling with a stagnant economy after decades of mass unemployment. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. North Korea on Sunday detained another US citizen on suspicion of acts against the state. The arrests would make him the fourth American and second within a fortnight to be held by the isolated country. The detainee, Kim Hak-song, was engaged with the Pyongyang University of Science and Technology. This comes after the third US citizen, Kim Sang-dok, associated with the same school, was detained in late April for alleged hostile acts. The US State Department has said that it is aware of the latest reported detention. It comes at a time when tensions on the Korean peninsula are running high as both Pyongyang and Washington are at loggerheads over the North's pursuit of nuclear weapons. At least 82 schoolgirls were released on Sunday by terror group Boko Haram. Girls were abducted from northeastern Nigeria 3 years ago. The move comes after the government had secured the release of exchange for Boko Haram prisoners. Now, the girls were welcomed by the Chief of Staff of the President to Nigeria after arriving at Abuja Airport. Around 270 girls were kidnapped in April 2014 by the Islamist militant group, which has killed 15,000 people and displaced more than 2 million during a 7-year insurgency aimed at creating an Islamic caliphate in northeastern Nigeria.
Welcome our girls, welcome our sisters. We're happy to have you back. We're very glad that you are back. And every Nigerian today must be forgetting every other hardship is suffering because it is a very joyous moment. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
And let's take a look at what else is making news across the world in World Wrap. A wildfire in the Okefenokee region in Georgia has forced dozens of nearby residents to evacuate their homes. About 130,000 acres have already burned, but no injuries have been reported so far. While much of the wildlife refuge is marshland and swamp, parts of it are wooded land. Iraqi forces face stiff resistance from Islamic State in northwest Mosul on Sunday after opening a new front against the militants. Having gained a foothold in the northern district last week, Iraqi forces are trying to push down into the handful of remaining districts held by the Islamic State. The new push from the northwest of Mosul began last week after other fronts in the city's southern districts stalled around the old city, where the iconic mosque from which Islamic State leader proclaimed a modern-day caliphate is located. At least 32 school children were killed in Tanzania when their vehicle plunged into a roadside ravine in the northern region of the country. The accident occurred when the bus descended a steep hill in rainy conditions. The police is investigating the cause of the incident. According to government data, more than 11,000 people were killed in road accidents in Tanzania between 2014 and 2016. And finally, in some cricket news, the BCCI Selection Committee will meet today in New Delhi to pick the squad for the 8-team event starting the 1st of June. In a special general meeting that was held on Sunday, the cricket body cleared India's participation in the ICC Champions Trophy in England and Wales. The board further decided that no legal recourse will be taken against the ICC as dictated by the committee administrators. Earlier, the BCCI had threatened to pull out of the tournament after its revenue share was reduced to $293 million as compared to $570 million before. That's all we have for you on the Breakfast News. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a good day.